Your favorite theme park isn't a magical wonderland. It's a ruthless corporate dictatorship run by a smiling cartoon mouse. You think you're booking a carefree family vacation, but you're strolling into a literal minefield of accidental felonies. That manufactured joy comes with a severe warning label and a relentless legal team watching your every move. It's a trap. The illusion hides a dark reality. Are you ready for the truth? 1. Mickey Mouse wields more political lobbying power than actual government officials. Disney World enforces a permanent, federally protected no-fly zone up to 3,000 feet. They convinced politicians to treat a sunny tourist trap like the White House just to keep annoying news choppers away from their pristine skies. You're entering a strict militarized airspace disguised as a fluffy fairy tale kingdom. Corporate dominance wins. Should a theme park have the same airspace security as the president? 2. A basic fashion mistake turns into a literal life-or-death drowning hazard. Wearing denim shorts on water slides is outlawed due to pipe clogging and severe drowning risks. Your heavy wet jeans act like a brutal anchor dragging you to the concrete bottom while destroying $1 million plumbing network. Park security will treat your favorite shorts like a lethal weapon and kick you out before you ruin the drains. You become a sunken liability. Denim is death. Have you ever tried swimming in heavy wet jeans? 3. Adults are denied entry to Legoland Discovery Centers unless accompanied by a small child. A harmless grown man wanting to build plastic brick towers gets treated like a dangerous predator by aggressive security guards. They criminalize pure nostalgia to protect their brand image. You show up with your wallet ready, but the staff escorts you off the premises like a suspected fugitive just for lacking a toddler as a prop. Innocence gets rejected. Nostalgia is illegal. Is it unfair to ban solo adults from Legoland? 4. Standing in blinding sunshine but getting denied a coaster ride because a cloud looks suspicious 3 counties over. Dollywood shuts down major rides at the slightest hint of a distant thunderstorm. You wait 2 hours in the blazing heat, only for the staff to lock the gates over invisible lightning. Dolly Parton acts as an overly cautious weather deity controlling your vacation. They prefer ruining your afternoon over a potential lawsuit. Nature always wins. Would you be mad if a ride closed during bright sunshine? 5. Mascot actors can't defend themselves if physically attacked by aggressive guests. A grown adult trapped in a massive foam suit takes brutal gut punches from a sugar-fueled 6-year-old and responds with a gentle defensive hug. They take the customer is always right mantra to a painful, masochistic extreme. Management demands that these silent performers absorb physical abuse without throwing a single punch back to protect the sacred brand. It's corporate torture. Should mascots be allowed to shove violent kids back? 6. A tiny floating bug transforms into a literal bullet that can blind you at extreme velocities. Riders on the 150-mile-per-hour Formula Rossa coaster must wear heavy-duty safety goggles. You dress up like a goofy lab scientist just to survive a coaster breeze. The sheer force of the wind will peel your eyelids back and turn a speck of dust into shrapnel. They don't care about your cool photos, they care about your corneas. Look like a fool. Would you wear ugly goggles to ride the fastest coaster? 7. Swimsuits with metal zippers or rivets are outlawed on slick fiberglass slides. A tiny piece of metal turns a fun water ride into a bloody razor blade for the next unsuspecting guest. Your trendy swim trunks become a lethal safety hazard capable of carving deep trenches into the expensive plastic structure. Lifeguards inspect your waistline like ruthless TSA agents hunting for hidden weapons. You're wearing a tactical threat to public safety. Fashion becomes violence. Did you know your swimsuit could hurt someone else? 8. People constantly try to scatter human ashes on the Haunted Mansion ride, triggering a massive biohazard cleanup. You try to give Grandma an eternal magical resting place, only for her remains to be vacuumed up and thrown into a corporate dumpster. Treating a theme park like a family cemetery forces the staff to bring out specialized air filters. Your sweet tribute halts the ride for hours and infuriates everyone. Grandma becomes a nuisance. Is scattering ashes at a theme park romantic or just deeply weird? 9. If one person flashes the camera on Splash Mountain, the souvenir photo gets deleted for the entire boat. You lose your precious family vacation memory because a total stranger in the back row decided to expose their chest to the flash. Disney enforces brutal military-style collective punishment to maintain a sanitized public image. You pay a fortune for that ride, but one naked prankster sentences your souvenir to the digital void forever. Your memories mean nothing. Is it fair to punish the whole boat for one idiot's prank? 10. Disney paints utility buildings a specific shade of go-away green to make them invisible to the human eye. A massive, ugly industrial skyscraper hides in plain sight simply because your brain is tricked into ignoring the dull color. It's psychological color palette camouflage, designed to blind you to the grimy machinery running the park. They hack your optical senses to keep you locked inside the fantasy bubble without noticing the concrete walls. Mind control works. Have you ever noticed these hidden green buildings? 11. A harmless pocket penny transforms into a high-speed projectile bullet aimed right at a stranger's forehead. Universal mandates metal detectors to prevent loose pocket change on extreme speed coasters. Basic physics turns a forgotten dime into accidental weaponry capable of shattering a skull at 80 miles per hour. Security wands you down like a maximum security prisoner just to ensure your loose change doesn't become shrapnel. Physics is brutal. Would you feel safe knowing the guy ahead has a pocket full of coins? 12. Plummeting down a rusted drop tower while wearing a formal tie, terrified that lacking a smile will cause a diplomatic incident. North Korean theme parks require formal suits and mandatory expressions of socialist joy from all citizens. They enforce leisure time as a strict government mandate with zero room for genuine relaxation. You ride the rickety coaster in your Sunday best, praying your terror looks like patriotic enthusiasm. Fear masks joy. Could you survive a coaster ride wearing a full business suit? 13. A multi-billion-dollar soda empire gets erased and replaced by custom pumpkin juice labels to satisfy fantasy lore. The creator of Harry Potter banned all real-world brands, meaning no normal cola logos exist in Universal's wizarding world. It's an uncompromising level of immersion that forces guests to abandon their modern comforts. You can't buy a regular soda, you must consume the overpriced fictional alternative to keep the magic intact. Drink the fiction. Do you love this deep immersion, or do you just want a Coke? 14. An employee chooses to suffocate or vomit inside a giant dog helmet rather than shatter a child's precious illusion. Mascot actors are forbidden from removing their heads in public, even during severe medical emergencies. This rule demands corporate loyalty bordering on pure madness. They would rather a worker collapse on the hot pavement than let a tourist see a human face underneath the cartoon fur. The brand survives while the human suffers. Fiction first. Should health emergencies override the magic illusion? 15. Sneaking a phone onto a Universal coaster results in an immediate one-year park ban. You risk a long blacklist and thousands of wasted dollars just to capture a blurry video of your own shoes for the internet. Security treats a fragile smartphone like a loaded weapon ready to fly out of your grip and smash someone's front teeth. They don't care about your follower count, they care about preventing blunt force trauma from flying metal. Put it away. Is a blurry video really worth getting banned for a whole year? 16. Handing a cash tip to a Disney employee can get them fired on the spot. A guest trying to be nice accidentally triggers a stressful, career-threatening test of corporate loyalty. Workers must refuse the cash 3 times, and if forced, they must turn it in for donation. Generosity becomes weaponized into a nightmare scenario for an underpaid worker. You think you're rewarding good service, but you're actually handing them a termination letter. Keep your cash. Did you know tipping could cost a worker their job? 17. A mild-mannered tourist in a swimsuit gets treated like a dangerous organized crime boss. Visible tattoos are outlawed in Japanese theme parks due to deep cultural associations with the criminal underworld. It's a severe cultural mistranslation of modern body art. You show up with a harmless butterfly on your ankle, and the staff treats you like a ruthless mob enforcer planning a heist. They force you to cover up or get out immediately. Hide your ink. Should international parks adjust their rules for loud tourists? 18. Rule breakers are dragged to a windowless interrogation room, known as Disney Jail, to await actual police. You go from happily eating a churro in the sun to being detained by grim security officers in a sterile underground bunker. It's a sobering reality check that shatters the cartoon magic into a million pieces. They don't play around with warnings, they isolate you, interrogate you, and banish you from the property forever. The mouse has teeth. Is getting banned for life worth whatever prank you were trying to pull? 19. Firing an employee before a break room photo even gets a single like to protect a fictional mouse. Character actors will be instantly terminated if they post out-of-character selfies or claim they play the character online. They must live a double life, like a secret agent trapped in a sweaty fursuit. The corporation owns their identity both inside the park and on the internet, demanding a vow of silence to keep the magic pure. Secrecy is survival. Is it fair to control an employee's personal social media this strictly? 20. Guests constantly try to drag comfort peacocks and emotional support snakes into crowded ride queues. Only legitimate service dogs and miniature horses are allowed. Standard emotional support animals face a strict ban. Park management enacted this rule to prevent a chaotic petting zoo from breaking out near the food courts. Your anxiety turtle doesn't get a fast pass to the roller coaster. They draw a hard line against the fake vest industry. Animals stay home. Do you agree with banning emotional support animals in parks? 21. The nostalgic theme park water smell is actually relentless chemical warfare against the sweat of thousands of tourists. Disney water rides use bromine instead of chlorine, acting as an industrial solvent to dissolve human grime. You're soaking in an aggressive bacteria killer designed to sanitize the filth left behind by the previous boat. That magical scent is just a brutal cleaning agent eating away the germs on your skin. It cleanses all. Have you ever swallowed a massive mouthful of dirty theme park water? 22. A famous cowboy doll just stares at a screaming tourist because his knees are destroyed from viral internet trends. The viral challenge where guests yelled the owner's name was banned because actors dropping to the concrete caused severe joint injuries. Magic gets murdered by worker compensation laws and torn ligaments. You want a funny video, but the actor just wants to walk without a cane. The corporation banned the joke to save their insurance premiums. Knees shatter fast. Did you ever try this challenge before it was banned? 23. Performing chest compressions on a corpse just until the ambulance crosses an invisible property line to avoid bad press. First responders delay declaring death until victims are officially off the property to keep the park's pristine safety record intact. It's a dark, bureaucratic loophole designed to maintain the happiest place illusion. People expire, but the paperwork demands they stay alive until they hit the public highway. Death is delayed. Does this dark public relations trick change how you view safety? 24. Guests must publicly test ride seats outside the queue to ensure the safety restraints fit their bodies. You're forced to publicly prove your physical size in front of hundreds of staring strangers, resulting in instant humiliation. It's a brutal walk of shame designed by unsympathetic engineers who prioritize ride mechanics over human dignity. You sit in the mock chair, wait for the green light, and pray it clicks. The crowd watches you fail. Are test seats a smart safety tool or just cruel public humiliation? 25. A rogue, cheap superhero curses near a food court and permanently traumatizes a passing toddler. Anyone over 14 is barred from wearing costumes at Disney to prevent confusion with official characters. They defend character integrity against budget cosplayers looking for attention. The park won't let your amateur sewing project ruin the immersive fantasy they spent billions building. You can't play pretend here unless you're on the payroll. Stay in civilian clothes? Should adults be allowed to dress up in parks? 26. Getting blacklisted from a theme park forever because you hoarded 50 plastic popcorn buckets in a frenzy? Parks issue permanent bans to merchandise pirates who buy limited items in bulk to scalp online. It's a ruthless corporate war against greedy auction site scalpers trying to ruin the market. They track your purchases, cancel your pass, and throw you out for treating their gift shop like a wholesale distributor. Greed gets punished. Do you support banning people who buy too much merchandise to resell? 27. A moral fashion police literally denies you entry until you hide your edgy wardrobe choices. Security at Dollywood will force you to buy a new shirt or turn yours inside out if it displays any profanity. They censor bad taste to protect the wholesome family atmosphere from your cynical graphic tee. You must conform to their modest dress code or go home empty-handed. Your rebellious clothing gets neutralized by a smiling grandmother at the gate. Buy a new shirt. Do parks have the right to police your clothes? 28. The smiling dad standing next to you in line is actually a corporate spy taking aggressive notes on your behavior. Disney uses plainclothes security posing as tourists to monitor staff and guests without detection. These paranoia-inducing secret agents work for the mouse, blending into the crowd wearing fanny packs and sunglasses. You think you're having a private meltdown over a dropped ice cream, but undercover guards are logging every word. Trust no one. Does knowing about secret agents make you feel paranoid? 29. Employees are forbidden from saying, "I don't know," and must hunt down the answer immediately. This creates a bizarrely high-pressure work environment where human confusion is literally against the rules. It's a relentless pursuit of a magical utopia devoid of incompetence or natural ignorance. If a guest asks a ridiculous question, the worker must invent a solution or radio command central. Being clueless is a fireable offense. Knowledge is forced. Would you quit if your boss made it illegal to be confused at work? 30. Designing massive architectural layouts based solely on the calculated laziness of a tourist eating a greasy hot dog. Disney places a trash can every 30 feet because the founder calculated that is exactly how long a lazy person will hold garbage before dropping it. It's urban planning driven by basic human sloth. They manipulate your walking patterns so you never have an excuse to litter on their pristine concrete walkways. Laziness dictates design. Are you lazy enough to drop trash if a bin isn't within 30 feet? 31. Paying thousands of dollars for the exclusive right to get drunk in secret without ending up on the gossip sites. Inside Disney's ultra-rich Club 33, taking a photo of another guest gets your elite membership instantly revoked. It's the only place on Earth where taking a simple selfie is a fast fireable offense. You buy the privilege of flawless anonymity, and breaking that trust destroys your social status in seconds. Wealth demands privacy. Would you pay thousands of dollars just for total privacy in a park? 32. Desperate parents instruct their 10-year-olds to aggressively slouch at the ticket booth to save $50. Ticket prices in Chinese theme parks are based only on height, forcing tall children to pay full adult prices. It's a literal genetic tax on early growth spurts. If your kid hit a growth spurt over the summer, your family vacation budget gets destroyed at the entrance gate. Genetics rob your wallet before you even see a coaster. Slouch down. Is charging by height a total scam or a smart business policy? 33. Being the most talented actress on Earth, but getting rejected because your shins are an inch too long. Disney princesses must measure exactly between 5'4" and 5'7" to ensure uniform costume fitting. These physical requirements rival military standards. The casting directors measure you like a piece of lumber, and if you stretch too far, your dream job vanishes. Acting skills mean nothing against a strict tape measure. Inches matter. Is it fair to reject a great actor just because they are too tall? 34. A kid tries to cast a spell, only to realize their magic is powerless without a valid retail receipt. Universal staff won't engage in magical duels unless you bought the official $50 interactive wand. It's a harsh lesson in raw capitalism for budding wizards. You wave a cheap plastic stick, and the animatronics stay dead. The spells only work if you fed your credit card to the corporate beast first. Magic costs money. Pay to play. Does hiding magic behind a retail paywall ruin the fun for eager young kids? 35. One narcissist traps 100 people on a lift hill for an hour just to get a blurry sunset shot. Selfie sticks are banned globally because extending them hits ride sensors and triggers an automatic emergency stop. It's the ultimate example of one idiot ruining the fun for everyone else. You want a cool video, but you end up shutting down a multi-million-dollar machine and forcing an evacuation. Vain tourists ruin the mechanics. Put the stick down. Have you ever been stuck on a ride because someone dropped an item? 36. Celebrities and billionaires beg to spend money but get firmly rejected by a rigid fairy tale protocol. You can't buy a night in the Cinderella Castle suite. It remains an invite or contest-only experience. This rule proves some magic is genuinely off-limits to extreme wealth. You can buy private jets, but you cannot bribe your way into the specific themed bedroom. The corporation denies the ultra-rich to maintain the fantasy. Money fails here. If you had unlimited cash, would you be mad you couldn't book this? 37. A silent machine publicly rejects you, forcing a humiliating walk back down the stairs past everyone. Volcano Bay forces riders onto a scale that flashes a bright red light if they are too heavy to ride. It's a brutal, automated rejection based on unforgiving engineering limits. You climb 100 steps expecting an adrenaline rush, but a digital scale denies your entry and sends you back through a crowd of staring strangers. Gravity plays no games. Would you risk stepping on the red light scale in front of a big crowd? 38. Trying to negotiate with a screaming toddler about why their rubber toy is treated like an illegal narcotic. Balloons and plastic straws are contraband at Animal Kingdom to protect the animals from eating trash. They defend multi-million-dollar giraffes from choking hazards by confiscating party supplies at the gate. Your kid loses their mind over a confiscated balloon, but the park cares more about the rhinos than human tears. Animals rule here. Have you ever had to explain this harsh balloon ban to a crying child? 39. Disney staff never say, "lost child." They treat the child as found and broadcast a code for lost adults. They subtly gaslight panicked parents by implying the kid is doing fine and the adults are just incompetent wanderers. It's a masterclass in psychological manipulation and reverse psychology. The staff comforts the crying child while treating the frantic parents like irresponsible strays who lost their way. The kid is safe. You are the problem. Is this naming trick pure genius or just insulting the stressed-out parents? 40. An entire workforce looks like they are constantly summoning a waiter or performing synchronized dance moves. Disney employees must point with 2 fingers because pointing with one is highly offensive in some foreign cultures. They over-engineer human hand gestures to ensure global politeness. A simple directional point gets rehearsed until it becomes a mandatory sterile corporate gesture that removes all trace of natural human behavior. Gestures are policed. Have you ever noticed the famous Disney 2-finger point in the parks? 41. Controlling the supply chain to manipulate human behavior, preventing tourists from turning the park into a minty wasteland. Disney refuses to sell chewing gum to prevent sticky messes on rides and restaurant tables. It's subtle behavioral engineering deployed against toxic sludge. They know you're too lazy to throw it away, so they cut off the supply at the source. Your fresh breath isn't worth scraping pink glue off a roller coaster seat. Gum is banned. Do you think all public places should ban the sale of chewing gum? 42. Disguising a pile of half-digested hot dogs as a calm, sterile scientific experiment to keep diners happy. Staff use the secret code protein spill over the radio instead of saying the word vomit. It's linguistic camouflage for biological disasters. They sanitize the gross reality of motion sickness by using a clinical term that won't ruin the appetites of nearby guests eating churros. Your lunch erupts and they call it science. Words hide the mess. What is the grossest thing you have ever seen happen at a crowded theme park? 43. Paying hundreds of dollars to be exhausted, only to have a guard legally mandate that you stay awake and look happy. Security wakes you up if you try to sleep on a park bench because it ruins the energetic atmosphere. They enforce mandatory fun, regardless of your severe energy levels. You hit a wall of fatigue, but the corporation demands visual enthusiasm. Napping is a crime against the manufactured joy of the environment. Wake up now. Would you be furious if a guard forcefully woke you from a much-needed midday nap? 44. Ensuring that the maniac jumping at you with a chainsaw is definitely on the corporate payroll, not just a random psycho. Guests at Halloween Horror Nights are banned from wearing costumes to prevent confusion with paid actors. They separate paid terror from actual danger. If anyone could dress like a demon, you wouldn't know if you were getting scared by an employee or hunted by a lunatic. Fake blood requires a paycheck here. No amateur monsters. Have you ever accidentally scared someone while walking through a haunted house? 45. Defying every instinct of parental safety by tossing a toddler the keys to industrial, earth-moving equipment. Diggerland literally lets 5-year-olds operate real multi-ton diesel construction excavators. They make child labor laws look like mere suggestions. You hand your tiny kid the controls to a massive hydraulic beast and just pray they don't flatten the ticket booth. It's organized chaos masquerading as family entertainment. Danger is fun. Would you let your 5-year-old drive a real diesel construction excavator? 46. Forcing men to take a vacation just to grow out a beard, hiding their awkward stubble phase from the public. Male Disney employees can't have stubble. They must be fully bearded or clean-shaven. The corporation dictates natural hair growth with rigorous mid-century precision. You aren't allowed to grow facial hair on company time. Your face must remain statically perfect, freezing your appearance into a specific corporate mold. Shave it off. Is it too controlling for a job to dictate your exact facial stubble length? 47. Forcing employees to live like mole people just so kids don't see Cinderella buying a burrito next to an astronaut. Disney built underground tunnels to prevent character cross-contamination across different park zones. It's a subterranean highway preserving thematic purity. They dug out an entire city beneath your feet to ensure the illusion of different magical lands never breaks down in front of paying tourists. The magic hides underground. Tunnels keep secrets. Have you ever spotted a character roaming in the wrong park zone? 48. Paying to be terrified but being forced to suppress your primal fight-or-flight reflex. If you react to a jump scare by pushing a scare actor, you're immediately ejected from the park. They criminalize a natural human survival instinct. A monster screams in your face, but if your hands flinch forward, security throws you out into the parking lot. You must absorb the terror while keeping your arms frozen at your sides. Do not touch them. Is it fair to ban someone for an accidental flinch punch during a haunted maze? 49. Plummeting 200 feet at 80 miles per hour while suppressing your mortal terror, politely to maintain stoic silence. Japanese theme parks banned screaming on roller coasters during the pandemic to stop viral spread. It's the most dystopian, unnatural request in human history. You face a terrifying drop, but the rules demand you scream silently inside your heart instead of using your vocal cords. Biology gets outlawed. Keep your mouth shut. Could you survive a massive coaster drop without making a single terrified sound? Hold on. Let's break the script for a second. We've gone through 49 ridiculous rules, but that last one? Banning human screams on a roller coaster? That's the peak of corporate dystopia. Asking humans to suppress a biological terror response while plummeting down a metal track is the undisputed winner of this list. It proves these parks want to control your very soul, but I want to hear from you before we hit the final shocker. Do you agree with this choice, or is there a crazier rule we missed? Let us know before the final reveal. 50. Until 2001, Disney forced mascot actors to wear communal, company-issued underwear, leading to severe lice outbreaks. The illusion of magic is built on a foundation of strict, unhygienic, and absurd regulations. These invisible laws control your wallet, your behavior, and the workers sweating inside the costumes. The fantasy demands submission. If you could snap your fingers and permanently erase one of these ridiculous theme park rules, which one goes in the trash first? Tell us below and stay out of Disney jail.